And his feet like unto fine brass.
Like unto fine brass. His feet were the color of fine brass. Read.
As if they burn in a furnace.
If you burn anything in a furnace, when it cools down, what color is it? It's black.
Right.
This is how the Bible describes Jesus Christ. If you say you believe on Jesus Christ, guess what? You have to believe that thing right there. You have to believe that script. You have to believe he's a so-called black man. That's what it means to believe on Christ. And you can't deny it either. You can't sit up here and say, oh, you know, it changes depending on the people that you're around. No, it doesn't. Skin color doesn't change. We're not chameleons. Hey, what up, bro? What up, bro? Hey, all praises. You said you believe in Jesus Christ, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you let me ask you a
His
question.
voice has the sound of many words.
What does it mean to believe in Jesus Christ, according to the Bible? Give me Sirach 32 and verse 24.
Yeah, give me some wisdom.
All praises. Sirach 32 and 24.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32, starting at verse 24.
Read.
He that believeth in the Lord.
He or she, any one of the nation of Israel, his people that believe in him, read.
Taketh heed to the commandment.
They're going to do the commandments of God. Those that believe on the Lord are going to do the commandments of God. Keep reading.
Taketh heed to the commandments.
Read.
And he that trusteth in him shall fare never the worse.
Let me ask you another question. How do you love Jesus Christ? John 14. Hey, all praises. All praises. John 14, 15, please.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get it out of the mouth of Jesus Christ himself. Read.
The book of St. John, chapter 14, starting at verse 15.
Read.
If ye love me.
Do you love Jesus?
Amen.
Hey, read it again.
If ye love me,
Well, if you love him, do what?
keep my commandments.
You'll keep his commandments. If you love Christ, you are going to keep his commandments. And his commandments are his Father's commandments. Do you know any of the commandments of God?
10.
Yeah, the 10 is good. Like, let me ask you a question. What is the fourth commandment in the 10 commandments?
4.
Give me that in Exodus 20. Huh?
Is it adultery?
No, not adultery. Give one more chance. One more
Steal.
shot. Stealing? Nah. Let's get it real quick.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, starting at verse 8.
Read.
Remember the Sabbath day
To you what?
to keep it holy.
That is the fourth commandment in the 10 commandments. Now, my question is this. When is the Sabbath day?
You know, they preach Sunday, but is it Saturday or Sunday?
It's actually, you know what? Let's get it out the scripts. Jump down to verse 10 in the same chapter.
Verse 10. But the seventh day
But the seventh day of the week, read.
7 days, Saturday.
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
That day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. And you said the seventh day is what?
Saturday.
Saturday. Today, the seventh day of the week is called Saturday, which means that Saturday is the Sabbath day, bro. Now watch what the law says. Jump back up to verse 8 again.
Verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Remember the Sabbath day
Read.
to keep it holy.
Now that you know the Sabbath day is the seventh day of the week, meaning Saturday, now you need to start keeping this day holy. What does it mean to be holy? If something is holy or someone is holy, what is it?
Pure.
They're pure? No. No. Give me this real quick. I'm
The
going to show
book-
you how the Bible defines holy.
Let's see.
Read this
The
real
book of Leviticus, chapter 20, starting at verse 26.
quick. Read.
Old Testament.
Old
And
Testament.
ye shall be holy
Ye shall be holy. He's talking to the Israelites. We are commanded to be holy. Read.
unto me,
Read.
for I, the Lord, am holy,
Because the Lord our God is holy. Keep reading.
and have severed,
And have what?
severed
Uh-huh.
you from other people.
The word severed means separate. So to be holy is to be separate. When you're holy, you're different. That's what it means to be holy. Jump up to verse 24.
That ye should be mine.
Jump up to 24 real quick.
Verse 24.
Read.
But I have said unto you,
Read.
ye shall inherit their land,
We are. Read.
and I will give it unto you to possess it,
He will. Read.
a land that floweth with milk and honey.
Keep reading.
I am the Lord your God,
Uh-huh.
which have separated you,
Which has what?
which have separated you
From who?
from other people.
So to be holy is to be separate. So when God said, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, he's telling you, remember this day and keep it separate from every other day. Meaning on this day, there are certain things that God commands you to do, and certain things God commands you and tells you not to do. Like, for example, give me the book of Nehemiah chapter 10 and verse 31. Let me show you a law. Let me give you a law and a commandment regarding the Sabbath day. And if you keep this law and commandment, you will be keeping this day holy.
That's a fact. We're going to leave on that note, brother.
Come on. Hey, do you know your nationality?
My nationality, my great-grandma was 100%.
What about your father's side? On your father's side?
Father's side, that's what I'm saying. My great-grandma was 100% Indian,
Uh-huh.
married white man,
And your grandfather?
black.
Black?
Yeah.
So your father is black, and your grandfather is black on your father's side, right?
Yeah.
So according to the Bible, you are an Israelite. This law that we're reading about the Sabbath day, it belongs to you. You're commanded to keep this day holy. Let me give you a way. Read this real quick. Nehemiah chapter 10 and verse 31.
The book of Nehemiah 10, starting at verse
Let
31.
me give you two scriptures. This one and one more after this. Read.
And if the people of the land bring ware of any victual,
Back in the day, ware and victuals, those are talking about items and commodities to be sold. Back in the day, the people would bring their items, their commodities, to sell them to us. Today, they don't have to bring them to us because they set up storefronts.
We go to them.
Yeah, we go to them on our own accord. But keep reading.
on the Sabbath
On
day,
what day?
Sabbath day,
On the seventh day. Keep reading.
to sell,
To sell. Read.
that we would not buy it of them
See, we don't
on
buy,
the Sabbath.
We don't buy and sell on the Sabbath day. On this day, there's to be no trade, no commerce, no business show. This day is to be different from every other day. Every other day, outside of God's holy days, you can buy and sell and do business. But on the seventh day of the week, no business. If you want to keep this day holy, like the commandment says. Finish the verse.
We would not buy it of them
Read.
on the Sabbath or on the holy day,
Or on the holy day. Finish the verse.
and that we would leave the 7th year and the exaltation of every day.
Give me one more. Exodus chapter 31 and verse 15. So one way to keep the Sabbath holy is to not buy and sell, yo. That means do all your buying, all your selling
Monday,
before the Sabbath,
Sunday through Friday.
Sunday through Friday. Either before or after. Just not on
Saturday,
this
keep it holy.
day. When it gets dark, when the evening comes, you can do your buying and selling.
Okay.
But on the day, keep it holy.